morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our regular press conference. Let's get started by introducing our guest. From right, we have Lanao del Sur, our Assistant Majority Leader and Lanao del Sur First District Representative, Zia Adiong. PBA Party List Representative, our Deputy Majority Leader, Representative Margarita Ignacia Attorney Migs Nograles. And of course, our Assistant Majority Leader and Quezon City 5th District Representative Patrick Michael PMD Vargas. Our Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong Gonzales Jr. will join us later. Before we start with our questions, Ma'am Higgs, you have the floor for your short opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. First, thank you for your time and having us today. Wala naman talaga akong opening remarks, but alam niyo naman, pag Tuesdays, it's Young Guns Tuesday. So, we have here the members of the Young Guns, Kong Zia and Kong PM and myself. Later on, SDS Dong will join us. Manager siguro ng Young Guns. O samahan niya naman mamaya sabihin ni SDS, young din naman siya once. So, do you have any opening?
Okay, good PM po sa inyong lahat. Ay, morning pa lang pala. So, ako po si PM Vargas from Quezon City District 5. And thank you to our friends in media na nandito ngayon. And ang sarap matawag na young, no? Na kasama sa Young Guns. Although we're not that young, ang sarap pa rin ang feeling that young. So, thank you for having me.
Again, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Marami pong salamat sa pakikisama po ninyo sa amin dito sa daily briefing. Nais ko lang pong i-greet ang aking mga Muslim na kapatid na Happy Ramadan. This is the first day of our Ramadan. So, we are looking forward to questions and hopefully we will have a fruitful discussion later on.
Thank you. May I call on Elson Quismoyo from Manila Bulletin for our first question.
Hello po, Kongs, good morning. Just want to get your thoughts po on the US government's pledge po of $1 billion worth of investment sa Pilipinas. And also, what do you think this says about Washington's view of the Marcos administration po?
Thank you. No? Of course, we welcome an investment sa ating bansa. The fact that nakikita yung bansa natin na the US government wants to come in and invest sa atin. Ibig sabihin, may nakikita silang potential talaga sa bansa natin to invest, to have good returns, and hopefully this administration. And once the investment comes in, yung priority na investments and projects and programs ay talagang dun lang yan para makabalik po sa taong bayan natin and makita ng other agencies yung sundan yung mga regulatory measures and these things para ma-assure government, the foreign governments, hopefully this is not the only investment, but pag makita nilang maganda ang magiging parang fruit ng itong investment na to, others will start investing as well. And hopefully magiging mabuti to sa taong bayan at makabalik investment na to as a whole for the Filipino people and our country.
Ma'am, what do you think po yung view po ng Washington about Marcos admin given yung investment pledge po na $1 billion?
Well, the fact that they want to invest is actually such a good feat na for us. Nakita natin, may bunga itong state visits na ginagawa ni Presidente. Nakikita nila yun, na-open up tayo, nakikita yung capacity natin, capabilities natin, and that we are worth investing. Diba? So, sana maging maganda yung bunga itong investment na ito, and not only the Washington or the US, but the other countries will look into our country na sana worth investing talaga tayo. Ayokong humirit ngayon ng mga naman, mga hugot. Pero diba, parang pag-ibig lang yan, diba? Nag-i-invest ka, tapos sana maganda yung patutunguhan at bunga nito. Wala pa nga eh.
Sa akin naman po, the US is one of the leading economies in the world. And in any business, in any transaction, number one ang trust. So, napakaganda ng development na ito kasi kung isa sa mga pinakamalalaki at successful na economy sa mundo ay magtitiwala sa Pilipinas, it just shows that the international community respects the effort and gives trust to the efforts of our President Bongbong Marcos. So dahil sa mangyayari ito, it's not just an investment, but there's a trade mission na matagal nang hindi. Ewan ko kung nagawa na siya talaga dito publicly, because sometimes the US doesn't announce their investments. Pero dito, publicly, inahanin nila na may trade mission na meron kaming $1 billion na mai-invest. Aside from boosting the economy, it shows that through our President Bongbong Marcos, the international community can trust the Filipino people. Thank you.
Well, it speaks of two things. Number one, sinabi ni aking mga kasamahan dito, it's about foreign countries deepening trust, not only the way we handle things here in the country, but the person who sits as the architect of our foreign policies. The president now, si President Bongbong Marcos, nakita natin yung simula nung umupo siya, ang kanyang domestic policy is unity. Kasi I think it's part of his plan to really bring closer the Philippines, especially to our allies like the United States. So, it would appear na ang Pilipinas ay it's not only ready for any investment, but actually fertile for any foreign money to come in, and then not only benefit the Philippines, but as well as benefit the country, countries who are willing to invest in our country. Tama po yung sinabi ng mga kasamaan ko, it goes two ways. You don't invest in a country where there's a vulnerability in terms of market, in terms of policies. You only invest in countries where there's a stable condition, a perfect climate for a business to thrive. So the United States is our closest ally in it's our longest ally. And I think the United States and the Philippines have so many bilateral treaties, no? Merong military treaty, merong EDCA, and look at what is happening now also in the West Philippine Sea, and so it's the country where the Philippines can really look up to, and it's the country where the Philippines can really depend on. So I guess the United States, being our longest ally, is just returning the favor because we have been so loyal to the United States. At the same time, the policy of the country is really towards engaging in the U.S. in not only in terms of the existing bilateral talks militarily, but also to open up other avenues for possible investments and to strengthen our economic ties.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Pat Corbes from Radio Pilipinas.
Hi, good morning po. Particular question po kay Kong Zia. Una po, kamusta po yung sitwasyon sa BARM, specifically sa district niyo po, with regards sa preparation po sa BARM elections po ng 2025?
Well, ang nagpe-prepare naman talaga ng election is ang COMELEC. And so, by 2025, tama po yung tanong nyo, by 2025 simultaneous po yung election ng national and regional elections. So ngayon kasi ang BARM, they have a somewhat different setup politically. They have a parliamentary, unlike here na meron tayong Kongreso, legislative and executive. So ang parliamentary elections kasi sa 80 members, So the parliament can still can also exercise executive functions, yung mga members doon. And so what they do is apart from the congressional districts, kasi may mga distrito tayo na sinesend din sa House of Representatives. Like in my case, the 1st district, which is also part of FARM, meron kasi silang piniprepare na redistricting. This is the constituency-based representation for each member of the 80-member parliament. So meron silang tatlong division. One is party representation, direct representation, which is 100,000 population, one constituency district. And then meron din silang sectoral representations. Nagpasa ang Parliament ng Bangsamoro Electoral Office. This is not independent from COMELEC. This is still under COMELEC, but they would have to, I guess, the COMELEC and the BARM Electoral Office has to stress out, pag-usapan nila kung paano yung manner of elections in the district and yung constituency-based district representation, yung party representation, and yung sectoral. I'm confident naman si Chairman Garcia is on top of this. Of course, this will be the first election and the first election that yung nanalo na South Korean Nero, no? Natin makikita. It's going to be the first election for the BART, and the first election will be conducted by Nero.
Sir, second question po. Pwede pong kayo na po yung mauna pero hingi na rin po ang reaction ng iba. Since malapit na din po yung election, meron din pong ibang mga nag-raise ng concern doon po sa ginawang amendment ng PNP sa IRR na Comprehensive Law on Firearms and Ammunition Regulation, kung saan pwede na po magmay-ari yung mga civilian ng semi-automatic guns. This was enacted po during Pinoy's time, pero during time po ni former PRRD, pinahigpit po niya to kasi nga po dahil sa Marawi siege. So, yung thoughts niyo lang po.
Well, ako, I'm not really a gun enthusiast. No? Actually, hindi ko alam yung mga, anong klase yung mga barrel. Alam ko may LTAP, alam ko may permit to carry, but I don't own gun. Hindi talaga ako gun enthusiast. So, I haven't seen yung sinasabi niyo pong exact na order ng PNP, how did they amend the IRR. Ang pagkakalam ko lang may inamenda sila ng IRR, diba? And so hindi ko pa talaga alam yun. Other than what I read from the news, na ordinary civilian can now own semi-automatic. Dalawa kasi yung ano ko eh. One way is ayoko talaga. If you ask me personally, I don't like civilians, ordinary civilians who just simply own a gun, no? Nakita naman natin based on experiences in the United States, yung pinaka-problema nila. It's a national debate, di ba? Kasi may mga mass shooting sa mga schools, may kung ano-anong mga krimen ang nangyayari sa kalsada nila. So we don't like this, yes.
We welcome the presence of Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Don Gonzales Jr. Thank you for joining us today.
With your permission, should I continue, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't want that to happen here in the country. I want our streets to be free from any crimes or any untoward incidents, no? So yun ang fear ko doon, if you ask me personally. On the other hand, I may also see this as a way to regulate yung proliferation of unlicensed firearms. No, it could be a way to implement a stricter regulation on how responsible gun owners should be allowed to have, I don't know, maybe one, maybe two. So I'm in the middle now, but if you would just ask me, kasi hindi ko pa nakita talaga. No? But you would ask me, sana meron talagang mapag-aralan na maayos, kasi hindi natin we cannot afford to have shootings in the streets like in what's happening now in the United States. We simply cannot.
Sa akin naman po about responsible gun ownership, bago ka naman magkaroon ng isang baril, kahit hindi pa yung rifle na semi-automatic, ay meron namang mga checks and balances na nakalagay na dyan. Kaya nga meron tayong LTAP, meron tayong permit to carry, So, dinadaanan niya ng psychological and neuro test. So, I believe naman na as long as it is strictly implemented, um, the streets can be safe. Magkaiba po yun. Magkaiba kasi ang license to own at iba ang permit to carry. So as long as maganda yung performance at yung pag-check ng mga nag-a-apply ng ownership ng mga anumang klaseng baril ito, we believe that the PNP can do that. So for me, it's okay.
Bilang young gunshot. Sabi naman po nila, mayroon responsible ownership, right? I'm sure pinag-aralan to ng PNP to be able to look into this amendment to allow civilians to carry the semi-automatic rifles, no? So, we will give it to their discretion and their knowledge and their expertise na pinag-aralan nila to. Hopefully lang sa ganitong aspeto, talagang ma-regulate, talagang kung sino man ang pwedeng to carry or to own such rifle, ay talagang pinagdaanan yung exam. Kasi may psychological aspect to na talagang everyone will carry it if they're licensed to do it, is really qualified to do it, and they will exercise responsible ownership. Yung isang aspeto naman to, pag nagamit sa masamang paraan, siguro maganda din ito dahil makikita agad sino ba ang nakaregister na owner na gumamit nito sa mga, sana hindi mangyari, but if it will be inevitable na may ganun na mangyayari na ginagamit mo na rin, mas madaling mahuhuli at makikita at ma-trace yung kung sino may pagmamayari ng baril na to. So hopefully, the PNP will really make sure that the enforcement of this is really put into the highest kind of regulation makita na hindi lang basta-basta to.
Ako, baril ang pinag-uusapan. Hindi ako marunong bumaril. But anyway, excuse me, basta siguro may proseso at may lisensya at magamit sa gusto, palagay ko, okay naman po yun. So wala na kung ibang masasabi tungkol sa baril kasi hindi nga ako marunong bumaril. So I think we can go to the next question na po. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you. May call on RD Cruz from ABS-CBN.
Hi, good morning. Specific to SDS po. Kahapon po nagsimula na yung sponsorship ng RBE 7, but after the sponsorship speeches, parang hindi nagkaroon ng interpellations. So, gaano karami po ba ang mag-i-interpellate? O konti lang ba ang mag-i-interpellate? Kaya hindi nyo na diniretso kahapon? Because we were expecting na yesterday, today, and tomorrow, magdidire-diretso ng debate.
Thank you, RG. Alam mo kahapon na we opened already the period of sponsorship and debate. Tumayo na po kami kahapon. Nakita niyo siguro yung majority leader, Migs Nograles, and I, and of course the chairman, Chairman Rufus. Ang nakapila po sa minority, ang alam ko is 7, except for majority. So, some members asked for ample time to study yesterday. That's why hindi tayo natuloy kahapon. So siguro mamaya we will proceed. At to give way to other priority measures na tinatakel po natin dito sa House of Representatives. And you know, next week recess na po natin. Holy Week recess na po natin. Binigyan po natin time yung 8 more. Second reading na po yan. Tapos yung balik-aral program for the second reading natin po yan. Tapos yung Early Childhood Act, alam ko this week, today or tomorrow, the Committee on Appropriations will sign the committee report, and then they will send it to the Committee on Rules, so that the Committee on Rules can send it to the Plenary. So yun po, RG, so marami ang magtatanong. We will give time to the interpellators, kaya alam mo naman, maximum 1 hour yan. Kung 7 na yung nakapila mamaya, except for majority, times 2, that is 14. We will consume 14 hours. So palagay ko, it will take time. Huwag nating madaliin, we will give time to other members to us to this resolution what House is number 7. Thank you.
Follow up lang po. Sino-sino po yung pito from the minority and meron din po ba from the majority and ilan sila at sino?
Well, at glance kahapon nakita ko pero hindi ko na masyado na memory. Alam niyo naman yung kung sino yung mga nagtatanong. At tapos sa majority, marami rin magtatanong na pumunta sa Committee on Rules kahapon, they signified their intention to us also. So, hindi ko lang sigurado, Chief, kung sino lahat yan. Mamaya siguro, malalaman natin yung list of interlocutors.
Thank you, sir.
Any other comments from our other resource speakers? Okay, may I call on Melanie Moras from Channel 4.
Quick follow-up lang po, STS Gonzales. Given that po, are we still confident naman na masusunod pa rin yung timeline natin na by tomorrow, second reading, and before Holy Week break yung third reading?
Well, as I've said, there are 7 times 2, assuming that is 14 hours. So sabi ko nga, we will try. Pilitin natin matapos para walang masabi sa atin yung mga taong bayan. Bigyan natin panahon, oras, yung mga legislators to us and to deliberate to the sponsor. You know? So, kung makukuha namin for second reading this week, well and good. Next week, kung makukuha natin third reading, well and good. Pero, I'm not saying na hindi ko, yung sinasabi ko, na sana ma-approve natin to before the Holy Week recess. Pero, based on this new development na maraming magtatanong ng mga members, palagay ko we will give time to them po.
Opo. And another question lang po, anyone can answer. Kasi today may hearing ang House Committee on Legislative Franchises on issue about SMNI. And sakto rin po ngayong araw ay nanawagan si Vice President Sara Duterte sa pagpapairal ng batas at katarungan sa mga hinaharap na issue ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy and SMNI. May I just ask your views about this po, given na isa yung Kamara sa mga nag-iimbestiga sa issue nito?
Well, big siguro. Well, alam niyo po, mamaya 1 p.m. meron tayong hearing sa legislative franchise. And we will tackle. At si Pastor ko naman invited. Baka darating po mamaya para maisiwalat niya, masabi niya yung side. But we are waiting for him this afternoon.
Well, pag tinignan nyo naman, every committee hearing, we have been following the rules. We have been looking into the several violations. We have also invited numerous times to seek that the pastor himself will come. Kasi nga, like we've always been steadfast in what we were saying, this is his avenue to be able to answer, diba? And to be able to share itong mga pinag-uusapan sa committee hearing. So hopefully, mamaya no 1 p.m. ay dumating po siya para talagang makita itong pinag-usapan. It's online, it's very transparent. Makikita niyo naman po yung nangyayari at saka pinag-uusapan po sa buong hearing. We cannot preempt it dahil mamaya pa po yun. Hindi naman tayo mahuhula ng mangyayari mamayang 1 p.m. So hopefully, the public will be able to watch later the hearing at 1 p.m. para makita po itong mangyayari at mga pangyayari at maintindihan kung bakit meron to begin with itong committee hearing sa legislative franchise at tinitingnan po yung prangkisa and alleged violations on certain provisions of their franchise.
Thank you. Next question from Avante Politico. You are recognized, Billy Vegas.
Ihabol ko lang po doon sa tanong ni Elson. Magkakaroon po ba ng impact yung yung RBH 7 doon sa mga pumapasok na investment katulad nung $1 billion na investment from US?
Well, so maganda yan. Alam mo, ang ating Pangulo parang he is the best salesman of our country. So, state visit, official visit, the summation of all the investors, not only $1 billion from the US, but all over the world kung saan siya nakikipag-usap at talagang lumahanap niya. That's why if we open this economic provision, talagay ko po talagang marami ang mag-invest dito sa ating bansa.
About the Chacha, relative to the ano. But tamang yung sinabi ni SDS Dong, no? Yung lahat ng foreign trips ng presidente, that should not that should not be in vain, no? I think the House, Congress, especially that we are supportive of this administration's policy. Dapat we have to equip the president with all the necessary tools for him to be able to attract countries with willing to invest here. So I guess one of the tools that we need to equip the president with is the economic chacha.
Sa akin naman po, it will definitely affect the investment of the United States. Although, hindi naman natin pwedeng pangunahan dahil hindi pa nila nailalatag ng dito sa trade mission nila specifically kung ano gusto nila mangyari. Ang nakikita ko lang po ay nagpapagod, nagtatrabaho si Presidente Bongbong Marcos para sa ating bansa. Umaalis siya dito para kumuha ng mga investments. And parte naman natin na suportahan siya sa mga pangangailangan niya para makarating yung investment sa pagbangon ng ekonomiya natin. So it is also our role na isupport siya. Sana bubuksan yung ekonomiya para pagdating ng mga mag-i-invest, handa naman tayo tumanggap ng mga investment nila at hindi nila mararamdaman na inaabuso din natin sila or puro yung mga conditions lang natin yung binibigay natin. Salamat po.
So, investment na to, tingnan natin ang aspeto nito, no? Siyempre, we will welcome any investment. Pero pagdating na sa investment, because hindi pa naman nalalatag kung saan ba talaga silang parte or anong klaseng trade or whatnot, ngayon, no? Pagpasok ng investment nila. Magkakaroon naman ng limitations kung saan pwede mag-invest because of what we have in our constitution right now. That's why nga, yung nakinig kayo sa mga discussions naman po the past few weeks on what the result will be should magkaroon ng economic provisions na mapalitan ito at malilift at magiging easier by virtue of another law that will pass it, di ba? Then, mas magkakaroon ng more leeway kung saan pwede mag-invest. So, isang aspeto nito ay maganda may mag-invest, but yun nga, kung titingnan natin, ngayon, may limitations sa investments na sayang kung makakawin. So, sana, diba, patingnan natin itong side by side. And makikita natin, ngayon pa lang na we are discussing this, habang wala pa, may investment na po. So, what more once these restrictions will be lifted? All other countries are now going to see na we are worth investing in. Thank you.
Diba? Hingi lang po ng reaction. I understand may contract na between ang COMELEC tsaka ng Meru. Unfortunately, kanina po, nabigo na naman yung Meru na mag-demo dun sa gagamiting automated election system sa 2025.
So right now, there's a committee hearing ongoing to look into this at the question naman itong yung hindi pag-demo, no? And it's beyond their control sa ganon. And this is within COMELEC to look into naman na nakita na to, na bid to, and if hindi gagawin to ng NIRU in the timeline, diba? Then COMELEC should look into kung gayon, hindi mangyayari yun, then dapat tingnan to. So it's within NIRU to make sure compliant, ongoing din yung hearing right now. Congress is looking into these things. So we cannot also say naman on behalf of COMELEC anong gagawin nila dito, but we are looking into this at bring up siya in the committee hearing, and I think until now it's still ongoing to look into this para nga we can make sure that walang mga kalong-lokohan pwedeng mangyari dito. Transparent naman po.
Meron lang akong konting idagdag kasi this is well connected with the BARM election. Sabi ko nga kanina, it's going to be the first BARM election. So, ako, confident din ako kay Chairman George Garcia that he will not allow any compromise, whatever, yung sa magiging credibility and result and yung magiging election natin in 2025. Remember, we're pushing for the economic cha-cha. If ever, hopefully na it's going to be either simultaneous with the 2025. That's the prevalent na ngayon, proposal. So it's going to be the local midterm elections, the BARM election in my area, and the PBC. So it's too much to risk. So the COMELEC, I'm confident with the leadership of George Garcia na he will make sure that come 2025 election, preparation will be ready, preparation will be good, and so far as the machines that would be used for the 2025 elections. So sabi nga ni Migs, may ongoing committee hearing, and the Congress will really support whatever is this next, whatever COMELEC feels necessary to make sure that the integrity of our elections will be secured in 2025.
Thank you. Fred Mendoza from Manila Times.
Good morning po. Nakakapon din po. Ito po, isang question lang po. Sinabi po kasi ni VP Sara Duterte in a statement sent to SMNI na marami sa atin naniniwala na ang diranas na ngayon ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy ay pandarahas at hindi patas. Bukod sa hearing na walang pinatutunguhan, ay kabilang din ditong indefinite suspension ng broadcasting network na SMNI na isang issue ng media freedom. Of course, with all the issues surrounding Congress and the Vice President, ano masabi po dito, and do you think Congress again is facing another fight with the Vice President? Kasi we all know that the Vice President has lots of fans, and of course, the VP has so many supporters na laging binabanatan online, on social media. So, ano pong inyong reaction po dito sa sinabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa issue kay Pastor Quiboloy?
Nakatingin silang lahat sa akin. Well, we respect the opinion of the Vice President, diba? But also respect the legislative process. Hindi lang naman dito sa Kongreso, pati rin naman po yung Senate may ongoing investigation and hearing on matters, right? So like I said, manood na lang po kayo din ng committee hearings so that you will understand, diba? We will respect yun, but respect also the process that we have, because these hearings, nangyayari to, we invite resource persons, because when we look into the violations, tinatatanong naman tayo sa mga other government agencies kung ginawa ba nila talaga yung proseso na nakalatag naman po sa pangkisa nila. Diba? Matagal na po sila nag-ooperate, matagal na may prangkisa, and they should know, first and foremost, anong nakasulat dun sa prangkisa nila. So, of course, we will respect that. Respect also this, and 300 naman po kami, 311 naman po yan na magpupoto on majority. Diba po dito sa Kongreso, pag natapos itong committee hearing, pupunta pa rin yan sa plenary, and magkakadebate naman po. So, tingnan na lang po natin itong proseso, pinagdadaanan ng proseso, anong mangyayari, anong mga lumalabas, and hopefully we are fair in this, and hopefully the public will also be fair enough to look into the hearing and see it as it is, at hindi yung mga bits and pieces and sound bites lang na nasa social media na pag lumalabas ay hindi naman to yung full story. So it's better, and I would urge the public to watch the full thing and not these small bits and pieces na nata-take out of context. It's sinasabi mo po, maraming Actually, hindi lang naman po siya. I think you're well aware. Lahat po kami na magsasalita, especially ako, ganun yung nangyayari. So, and I kept quiet naman because I would always say, panoorin na lang po natin yung totoo, yung buong pangyayari at hindi po yung mga sound bites lang.
Baka support ako dito sis. Actually, anybody can have his or her opinion on matters that is, just now within the public discourse or circulation. But the fact of the matter is, no one from among the members of this House is picking a fight with anyone. No one. Wala po. Hindi ho kami masaya na nakakakita ng mga mistakes or violations sa isang bagay. I think when you talk about in this particular case, there are violations of the franchise, di ba? Which I believe Congress has the mandate, in fact the responsibility and the obligation to look into. So these are facts. Wala naman hong masaya, how we wish na sana walang violations. How we wish na sana we won't spend much time investigating. How we wish everything are going smoothly and fine. But we have to be, it's a call of duty and we have to hold organization or people to account if there are glaring violations of certain rules. No? Unfortunately, sabi nga ni Kong Migs, unfortunately, violations are too big to be ignored. No? Hindi mo pwedeng palagpasin lang. In fact, may mga cases na filed before MTRCB prior to the calling of investigation on the House Committee on Legislative Franchises. There are already precedents, no? Cases filed before NTC, before MTRCB. So it's just a matter of the Congress acting on the cases, strengthening, no, and perhaps correcting these violations. Kasi in aid of legislation naman po ang Kongreso. So whatever would be the result of that investigation, it would be to strengthen franchises that would be given for those who are applying for a franchise. So ulitin ko po, dito po sa Kongreso, we make sure that hindi kami nagsasagasa ng tao, but we are also very clear in our vision that we will continue on exercising our mandate and making sure that if there are violations committed, somebody has to pay the price and somebody has to be held accountable. Ganun lang po. It's not really picking a fight.
Thank you. Kim Salinas from Balitang A to Z.
Good afternoon po. Kanina lang po sabi ko ninyo they're expecting na hopefully dumating si Pastor Apollo Tiburoy. Pero what if STS or the majority leader natin, what if hindi dumating si Pastor Apollo Tiburoy? What should be the next order of the Congress? Kung meron bang instruction si Speaker? At the same time, what the fate of SMNI franchise? Ano bang kalalabasan nito? It's parang ano po bang magiging plano ng Kongreso, sir?
Again, it's up to the committee, no? Huwag naman po natin sabihin may instructions si Speaker because again, as members of the House, as members of the Committee on Franchise, in any movement ng isang committee ay depende yan sa vote na makukuha ng committee on any action and any motion of any member. Hindi naman po yun hindi po basehan yun sa instruction speaker because speaker is the speaker of the house, but then the committee is his own body, has its own members with their own minds and their own power to do motions and to look into other aspects. So dito po, hindi natin pwedeng pangunahan ano pong mangyayari. It will be up to the members of the committee who will be attending and to see ano yung magdidesisyonan as the majority of members in the committee kung ano mangyayari should the pastor will should he not appear. So, huwag po natin panganahan. Tinanarang po natin at we will just entrust this to the wisdom of the committee members that will be there later.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Rosalie Cos from UNTV.
Good morning po, Kongs. Regarding din po sa SMNI, Senator Robin Padilla filed a resolution urging a panel to investigate the alleged baseless suspension order of the National Telecommunications Commission against SMNI. How do you think this will affect the ongoing hearing of the House Committee on Legislative Franchises, given that nanggaling po yung order ng NTC against SMNI sa ginagawa niyo pong hearing?
Well, we respect the Senate. Hindi po kami nakikialam sa trabaho ng mga senador. So, karakter po nila yun. So, nasa kanila po yun.
I just want to correct your statement sa ginawa to ng NTC dahil sa ginagawa naming hearing. Again, I'd like to emphasize, NTC has their own power. Yung nangyari lang na hearing was to seek light kung anong mga nangyari, diba, na anong nangyayari ng mga violations. Again, we only urge but we did not direct or command NTC to act on their own jurisdiction para sa mga ganyan aspekto. With regard to the senators doing their own hearing and looking into whether or not tama po yung ginawa ng NTC, it's within their mandate and their power to look into this. Tingnan natin kung ano pong lalabas doon, kung talagang business or whatnot, and NTC is well equipped naman to be able to answer that dahil sila naman po yung nag-suspend, and hopefully with the questions na mangyayari sa Senado, which is, you know, their own body, they have their own rules, ay masashed light din, malaman ng public itong mga pangyayari. So, fair naman ata yung proceedings nila. They have their own proceedings. They have their own power and right to look into this. So, tingnan lang po natin. Wala na po kanalaman yung Kongreso dyan. Tingnan nyo lang po sa Senado kung anong mangyayari when that hearing will come to light.
Sa amin naman po, we respect Senator Robin Padilla, and mahirap naman magsalita para sa Senate kasi nga we are both legislative bodies. Ang trabaho namin, gumawa ng batas. So kung may nakikita silang paraan na makakaganda pa sa committee nila, kung ano man yung kailangan nilang gawin doon, karapatan nila yun. Trabaho lang yung ginagawa natin. Siguro magiging magsasali lang kami kung meron ng recommendations at kung nagtugma ito. Kasi sa huli naman kailangan magkasundo pa rin yung Senado at saka yung Kongreso para sa kahit anong gagawin natin sa ikagaganda ng paggawa natin ng batas.
Sundutin ko lang po doon. Kasi po baka nga po maging another source of tension between the two chambers because some congressmen are pushing for the revocation of the franchises of SMNI. Pero sa Senate nga po, si Senator Robin Padilla nais pa imbestigahan yung alleged baseless suspension order ng NTC. So do you think will this be another source of tension between the two chambers of Congress?
Well, let's cross the bridge when we get there. Hindi pa talaga siya nag-start yung investigation. Yung sabi nga po ng SGS, the Senate, at saka sabi ni Kong PM, the Senate has its way of, they also have their prerogative to, to do whatever they think is, makakabuti sa kanilang legislative functions. And we also do our own business here. We also have our own agenda and our own intention to really push for whatever measures or legislative measures that we might find our priority. So, magkaiba po yung para sa akin, I don't see, let's just hope that this will not create any tension as you said, no? Pero I don't see any, kasi these are two separate committees conducting two different sets of issues and concern. Though it may appear na nag-overlap yung issue, but the case of House of Representatives where where the Committee on Legislative Franchise is discussing about the alleged violations of the network on their franchise. On the other hand, hindi ko alam kung how they would handle that, but I think they also have their merits to continue on for probably if they feel that it's worth to investigate. So there are two separate things altogether. So I don't see I don't see as of now any way of maybe creating another tension yet again. And that's the thing that we want, and all of us here would like to avoid. Let's stick to our mandate and let's see how this investigation would go.
Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge Jonathan Andal from GMA 7.
Kay SDS po. Sir, kahapon sa plenary, umapela kayo sa mga senador na amendahan ang economic provisions ng Constitution. Ano po ba nababalitaan sa progress ng RBH 6 sa Senate? Malabo nga bang makalusot ka sa kanila? And forgive my ignorance, pero anong mangyayari kapag hindi ipinasa ng Senate yung RBH 6?
Well, sabi ko nga, this is the best time to amend the economic provisions ng RBHs. Sa Senado naman, di ba sinabi ko, nag-iusap tayo na kung pwede, tapusin na rin yung RBH because this is a mirror RBH also. Yun lang naman, nasa kanila po yan. Pero I'm very positive na ginagawa po nila yung trabaho nila at may papasa din nila yung RBHs. Para pag natapos tayo dito sa Kongreso, tapos sila, kakaroon tayo ng bicameral conference at palagay ko po wala na tayo sa pag-usapan doon kasi pareho tayo.
Thank you. For today's last question, call on Marian Enriquez from Channel 5.
Good morning po, sorry. Follow up lang po ulit dun sa charter change since mamaya po pag-uusapan na natin no, plenary debates. Pero for the past 2 weeks po, no, narinig na natin yung mga issues, mga tanong nila. Ano po sa tingin nyo kaya yung mga most contentious issues po na i-raise later and paano po ito pinaghahandaan or sasagutin ng mga sponsor, lalo na po SDS Gonzales. Also, paano rin po kaya natin ipapaliwanag yung constitutionality po ng sinasabi nga unless otherwise provided by law na maaaring nga po yun nga kumukontra doon sa Article 2, Section 19 po ng Constitution. Sorry. Most contentious issues, sir, na maaari nating nasa tingin nyo po na i-raise later and paano po ito pag sasagutin ng mga sponsors po?
Alam niyo po, kasi wala na sigurong i-raise kasi halos tanong na po lahat eh. Kung nag-aaral po sila ng lesson nila at this point in time, nag-iisip sila kung ano pa yung magandang itanong para magkaroon ng kasagutan yung kanilang mga nasa isip. So yun lang po, pwede kong sabihin na mix na wala na mix.
Well, in terms of the unless otherwise provided by law, I think it was a few weeks ago that I already discussed this with Zia Adiong, na itong unless otherwise provided by law. We will leave it, once this gets passed, if this gets passed, we will leave it up to the wisdom of the next few Congresses to really know kung ano ba ang nararapat sa time na yun para magpasa ng batas that would be more in line and kasama dun sa mga pangyayari na kailangan natin i-develop. Like, we cannot put a certain number right now on the percentages on the several aspects kasi we cannot know what's the day which would be good for the people in the next few years, in the next 10 years. The Constitution is 37 years, diba? Ngayon, tinitingnan natin ay hindi na applicable mga percentages na to. So, itong unless otherwise provided by law, we will leave it to the wisdom now of the next few Congresses to create a law that would be good for that time. And hopefully, the people will elect the future legislators na alam kung paano magpasa ng magandang batas to address concerns and issues in the future. So, this is only just one step. And the second step will be, yun nga, kung mapasa to, ano mga batas na gagawin in the next few Congresses po.
Well, kailangan ko lang parang okay na yun. Okay. So, I think balikan natin yung ano yung intention kung bakit kailangan natin ng economic chacha, no? Yung specific phrase that you just quoted, no? Unless otherwise provided for by law. yung flexibility, every time that we hold press conferences, we always bank on the issue of flexibility. Kasi nakita natin for the past 37 years, the Constitution is not even welcoming to any possible other than the 60 and the 40 proportion, no? In favor of local companies. But as what experience dictates, no? Based on the data, nakita natin we compare ourselves to countries who somehow adjusted, no, their foreign equity. So doon natin makikita, so may flexibility yung mga bansa na karatig bansa natin pagdating sa FDI. So bakit hindi magkaroon ng ganong klaseng paraan para hindi nakataga sa bato? Kasi parang kumbaga kung kwarto, wala ka ng elbow room eh. Masyado ka ng boxed in eh. So wala ka ng pagkakataon pang mag-side view or mag-doon ka lang kung ano saan kayo nakatayo. So hindi po pwede sa palagay natin kasi yung experience natin, sa palagay ko hindi po pwedeng ganun-ganun na lamang. So it's again going back to the being flexible. Tama yung sinabi ni Migs, if this gets done, and hopefully it will, yung flexibility na yun, yung adaptability na yun, ng magiging next na Congress, mabibigyan na sila ng paraan o kapangyarihan or option para gawin kung anong nararapat na adjustment pagdating sa foreign direct investment, sa foreign capital equity, para kung sa palagay nila ay mas makakabuti na i-open talaga ang ating ekonomiya sa mga foreign investors, which we believe, based on the data that we have seen, sa naging resulta ng mga bansa tulad ng Thailand, tulad ng Indonesia, Malaysia, bakit hindi natin magawa dito sa ating bansa? So kung ganun yung direction, ganun talaga I think yung direction ng gagawin natin at yung plano nitong economic chance na to. So yun lang, yung term na flexibility lang talaga ang gusto namin ipaintindi sa inyo. As to how, paano yung arrangement, that would, tama nga yung sinabi ni Migs, that would depend on the appreciation of the coming members of the next congresses. Okay, thank you. Pasensya na, nagra-Ramadan ako, hindi ko naman siya.
Ramadan. Unless otherwise provided by law, ako sana kung gawin mo ako, di ba? 60-40, 1, 2, 3, 60-40, and then 70-30. Ako sana, ibigyan na natin ng figure kung ilan talaga yun para hindi na tayo magre-legislate, hindi na tayo gagawa ng batas, di ba? Yun sana yung gusto ko para at least magamit na natin kaagad. So yun ang sinabi ko, narinig yung mga opening statement natin.
Sa akin naman po, ang kinaganda ng Constitution natin is katulad ng mga gumawa nito, hindi perfecto. Diba? Kaya nga mayroong clause na pwedeng baguhin ito. So alam natin na hindi perfecto ang kaluluwa ng ating bansa. Flexibility, sige, kung hindi natin mapag-usapan ngayon, sana mapag-usapan at matulungan niya ngayon. Pero binibigyan tayo ng pagkakataon na gawin ang lahat para sa kinabukasan. So kung meron mang consistent na bagay sa buhay natin, ito yung pagbabago. And kailangan sumabay din tayo sa pagbabago. At basically yun naman yung ginagawa namin, well, I'm speaking for Congress na rin, hindi naman to ginagawa para lang biglang gawin. Inaral po ito at syempre ang pinaka nasa puso natin dito habang ginagawa para ang kinabukasan ng kabataan natin, ng mga anak natin, mabigyan ng magandang mapa at magandang pagkakataon para sa kanila. So kung flexibility hindi kaya ngayon, okay, pag-usapan sa mga susunod na kongreso, sa mga future leaders natin. Pero sigurado ako kailangan sumabay tayo sa mga dumarating na pagbabago. Kasi may edad na rin talaga ang ating konstitusyon.
Thank you to our honorable guests. We kindly request for your closing statements.
So maraming salamat sa suporta, our friends, media. At hopefully lahat na, hindi lang RB87, lahat ng pinag-uusapan dito sa Kongreso, natatalakay natin every day. So, on various committees. And ngayon, yung nasabi ko kanina, our pending priority measures, dapat may pasa natin by next week. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung grade board, yung BCB, isa pa, current program. So, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. At sana itong RB7, tingnan natin hanggang next week kung ano magiging result. And ako, I'm very positive to Senator Migs and other senators na may pasa na rin nila yung RB6. Hindi po namin sila pinipressure, nasa kanilang bola. Kami po ginagawa namin yung role namin dito sa House of Representatives. So, yun lang po.
So again, thank you for giving us the time, for your time also to our media friends. Siguro kung maisip ko lang kung ano yung common theme sa lahat ng mga katanungan nyo at saka mga sagot po namin. Sa mga nanonood, sa ating public, hopefully maging responsible citizens din tayo. From watching, knowing what is going on, being well equipped, being well informed before having to say anything or bago mag-engage sa mga debate or magsabi ng kahit ano ng mga posts or kung ano man, let's be responsible also to look into what we are, before we say something, to look into and be well equipped, well informed, and watch the ongoing committee hearings, the ongoing debates in the plenary para po makita ninyo itong ginagawa naman po natin sa Kongreso ay para sa kabubuti ng bawat constituents naman po ng bawat representative dito sa Kongreso under the leadership of Speaker Martin Gonzales. Maraming salamat.
Okay, we believe that everybody's in public service because we love the Philippines and we love our country. We thank our friends in the media for shedding light and clearing everything so that the Filipino people will have a proper forum or a proper avenue to listen. But having said that, we also invite every citizen to be active, to be vigilant, to watch all the committee hearings. Because although it is our job to do legislation, it is our job to be good Filipinos. And the best way to do that is by being aware and helping build our future together. Nakikinig po kami sa mga distrito, sa mga taong nire-represent natin. Kaya nga tayo representatives of the Republic of the Philippines. So nakikinig kami sa inyo, kaya po natin ginagawa ito. Ang maganda naman, alamin din natin by watching, by supporting, alamin din natin kung ano nangyayari ng pangkabuuan para nasa parehong pahina tayo pagdating sa pagpaplano ng kinabukasan natin. So maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong lahat.
Well, happy Ramadan and may God bless and protect this country.
Thank you, Senior Deputy Speaker Dong, Deputy Majority Leader Migs of PBA Party List, Assistant Majority Leader PM, Assistant Majority Leader Zia for joining us today. Sa ating pong lahat na nandito, salamat po sa inyong lahat. Magandang tanghali.
Picture mo na ako. Tara na, para makapagpa-picture tayo sa kanila. Sa labas. Show mo na.
Yung init na yung cellphone.
Okay lang.
May pahabol. May pahabol ah.
Po ngayon, Senior Deputy Speaker ng Mining Congress. So, iniimbitahan ko po kayo na watch Congress TV para at least malalaman po yung everyday na nangyayari at bayan, doon sa Kongreso, iba-iba na pinag-usapan sa ito. Kaya it's very interesting to watch and support this Congress TV. Maraming salamat.
Masaya ito mamaya. Presscon pa rin, dami na nanonood. Oh. Kung pa-picture. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Kung pa-picture po.
Thank you.
Thank you po. Hello. Yan guys, mamaya antabayan nyo ako. Pong, pa-picture po. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Watch kayo mamaya sa ating SMNI hearing. Alright? So, kita-kits po tayo guys. 1 o'clock. So, magla-lunch lang po kami. Tapos, mag-ano na. Magla-live na tayo. Ano? So, balikan ko po kayo mamaya. Alright? Hello, ma'am. Hello. So mamaya SMNI hearing, manood tayo. Dito lang po guys, make sure naka-subscribe kayo. Salamat na marami. Kong, pa-picture Kong. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Ayan.
Sige pa.
Kita-kits tayo mamaya. Just si ano, Kong Busita.
Nandun sila sa inyo.
Hi. Basta na. O shoutout ka na, may ano pa, may 784. Bye. Yan guys. Mamaya magano tayo, tag dito sa ating SMNI hearing. So kita-kits po tayo. Titingnan natin kung dadating nga ba ang SMNI Pastor Kibuloy mamaya. So titingnan natin. Alright. So tapos na.
Hindi ka na pupunta doon.
Punta tayo? Hindi ka na ba?
Parang doon kasi sandali na lang.
Ha?
Magpumusisyon lang, mabili na lang tayo ng juice dyan.
Tara.
Diba? Gusto ko sabihin mo mamaya. Gusto ko sabihin mo kung ba. Kasi baka mamaya, hindi rin i-open to the public, hindi rin sayang yung answer.
Oo. Talino mo Kaya sige ako sumusunod eh. Kasi ito na eh. Magta 12:30 na eh. Okay, puntahan na natin yung venue. Bili lang tayo ng something. May 700 plus pa ayaw kumalas. Guys, panoorin nyo ako mamaya ha. Kasi mag SMNI hearing na tayo. So alauna yon. So 12:30 na ngayon. Bibili lang tayo ng Oh. Pwede dun. Kita-kits soft drinks, lang kami. Magji-juice lang. Magbibingka, magka-coffee. Yan. Ito yung mga cubicle ng ating kongresista. Yan. Ito pala eh. Si Kong. Kayo Boss Iron Man. Papunta na siya dun. Rodriguez. Oo. Yung pwede. Saan ba yun? Oo. Hindi ba tayo ma-hold up doon? Mute lang. Alright guys, so antabay lang tayo, nakapag-login na tayo dito. Magla-lunch lang po ang ating mga kongresista, tapos maya-maya mga alauna mag-start na tayo, alright? So bye for now. Magko-coffee lang ako guys. So bye for now. Yan. So magko-coffee lang ako dito sa Congress and then magkita-kita tayo mamaya, no? So alauna yan. Okay? Malapit na. 30 minutes, magko-coffee lang ako. Hindi na ako magla-lunch. So balikan nyo ako dito, make sure naka-subscribe and bell all para updated kayo sa ating SMNI mamaya. Masaya to. Titingnan natin kung kasama si Pastor Kibuloy dito po sa Congress. Alright, so maraming salamat. After 30 minutes, mag-relive ako, no? So, thank you! Subscribe! Thank you! Like! Bye! Magre-relive ako. Para sa hearing po.